Now, even though we've only seen the Unite operation so far, there's a key element of Pathfinder operations that I want you to understand before we go any further. And that is that they are designed to work on closed path outlines. So you're either going to merge multiple closed paths or you're going to cut one closed path out of another, that kind of thing. They don't tend to fare nearly as well when you're working with open path outlines. Sometimes they work okay, oftentimes they totally fail, and other times they produce peculiar results. And I'm going to demonstrate a case in point as we assemble the various path outlines necessary to represent the cartoon silhouette of Ringo. I've gone ahead and saved my progress as yellowsubmarine.ai found inside the 10 Pathfinder folder. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on these Ringo paths. Notice that we have a blue head outline, and this is an open path with a blue fill. And then we have another open path, this time filled with violet, just for the sake of demonstration. And it represents the left half of the body. And we're going to go ahead and flip that left half to create the right half. So go over to the toolbox, click on the rotate tool icon, and then choose the reflect tool from the rotate tool flyout menu. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little more closely here and alt click or option click on this endpoint, because that represents the point at which the two paths are going to connect to each other. That brings up the reflect dialog box. Go ahead and set the axis to vertical, click the copy button. And now we have 3 open paths, all of which together describe the entirety of the Ringo cartoon outline. So you might think that you could grab those 3 paths. I'll go ahead and select my black arrow tool, marquee those 3 paths like so that here inside the layers panel, you can see that Ringo, and head are all meatballed. And then you might go to your Pathfinder panel and click on Unite. But if you do that, then you're going to end up with this effect here. Sure enough, Illustrator goes ahead and unites the 3 paths, this time into a group, and I'll explain what's going on there in a moment. And it assigns all the paths the same fill and stroke attributes. So we have a black stroke, all the paths did, so we still have that same black stroke. This time we have a violet fill because Illustrator went ahead and used the fill associated with the frontmost of the 3 path outlines. However, it hasn't really combined them successfully into a single path outline. We do have a sequence of closed paths now, as indicated by this triangle right there in the center of his body. But if you twirl open the group right there, you'll see that we still have 3 independent path outlines, albeit every one of them is now closed. All right, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and ungroup these paths. We don't need them to be grouped together. And I could do that, of course, just by undoing the operation if I wanted to, but I'm going to step my way forward through things here. So I could go up to the object menu and choose the ungroup command, Control-Shift-G, Command-Shift-G on a Mac. Another thing you can do, I just want you to understand this, is when you're working inside the layers panel, as I am such a big fan of doing, you could just go ahead and grab path, and head, I believe is the name of this one. No, it's path. They're all named path now. So grab those 3 paths like so. Doesn't matter if they're meatballed or not. I'm just selecting each one of the paths in the layers panel, and I'm doing that by clicking on one of the paths and then shift clicking on another to select that range. And now I can just drag those paths out of the group. And not only does that ungroup them, but it also gets rid of the group. Notice that group item goes away. So a lot of different ways you can work here. All right, so we've got this triangle that's formed by the various straight segments in the closed paths. I'm going to switch over to my wide arrow tool, and I'm going to marquee these segments like so. So I'm just partially marqueeing each of the 3 segments. None of your anchor points should be selected anymore. And if you successfully marquee things, you should be able to press the backspace key or the delete key on a Mac in order to get rid of those 3 segments and nothing else. All right, now what I really want to do, if I want to unite open paths with each other, especially a group of open paths whose endpoints overlap each other, so we have some coincident endpoints here, but we have this triangular area that's essentially empty. If we want to unite these paths together, then we don't take advantage of Pathfinder because, once again, those operations are for joining closed paths. Instead, we go up to the object menu, choose path, and we choose a command that we've seen a few times now over the course of the series, and that's the join command. Control-J, Command-J on a Mac. That goes ahead and joins those paths together. Now we have a single path outline, as you can see. Thanks to the enhanced, by the way, join command inside of Illustrator CS5. All right, so you have the unite operation for closed paths. You have the join command for open paths. In the next exercise, I'm going to show you another variation on the unite operation that allows you to create compound shapes.